Shabbat Shalom, friends, and welcome to the community Betor here in Guatemala City. We are in our Parasha Tetzave, and this Parasha it's doing a repetition of the clothes of the high priest. We're talking about consecration of the high priest, and there are some details to the beginning of the temple as it started to talk about the oil for the menorah. We're going to give this a little bit of context of what it's happening here in our parasha. So that way, at the end, we're going to get to the text that I want to go with. As we have seen in different opportunities, the temple is something that was forgotten for any reason for a lot of time. Because Moshe climbs 3 times the Mount Sinai. The first one, he received the oral proposal of the commandments. What we have in Shema 20. The people accept and they say, we're going to do it, then we're going to listen to. And the second time is when he climbs again, and those 10 words that were transmitted and they were accepted by an oral way, they are written into stone table. So that's the second time. So far, the Lord hasn't ordered anything about a temple. We have seen in the texts and studies that we have done before that he ordered offering to make like a kind of tabernacle, something like that, that it needed to be specifically built with rocks. And then when the tabernacle is placed, it is not allowed to make those parts or the first tabernacles, let's say that way, that were done by rocks. He says that it's gonna be not allowed to do it anymore. And then in the third time, we got he do it because he wants to apologize for the golden calf and to ask to the Eternal go with them. The Eternal says, and this is what happened when the other 2 tables were given. After he did it himself, Moshe. Moshe said, if I have found grace before your eyes, I beg you to make me know your way, that I may know you and find grace before your eyes, and consider that this nation is your people. So this is when Moshe said this to the Eternal, when he said that he's going to send just an angel, because he's not going to go with them. Because if the people of Israel sin again, he will kill them. Moshe says, he resists himself, and he said, if you don't go with us, we're not going to go anywhere. And then we have here where Moshe is asking the divine presence to be with the people of Israel, and if the people of Israel made something wrong, please do not kill them. So, and the divine presence can still be with them. It's something that cannot be possible somehow, because the divine presence cannot be with someone that is not following the correct commandments. So it cannot be just possible, or it couldn't be possible. And he still says that please let me know your way, so I can know you and find grace before your eyes. And the answer to this situation that Moshe is living, this impossible request that he's doing, is the Mishkan. It's in that third climb where the Eternal said to Moshe to build up a Mishkan exactly as it was shown to him. So then all the specifications and details are given to him. To the people of Israel, since they didn't understand, or they forget what the objective was of, or the objective or the tabernacle. It was not just to give an offering. The tabernacle was actually from the plan A. It wasn't now in the first one and not even in the second climb. So why then they were focused in the temple when it wasn't the commandment? The Eternal, he says through Jeremiah, when this king is trying to kill them, something like that, he says, I to your parents I never talked to them about sacrifices and the dessert. I just told them, please go forward my commandments, but they never listen. So it means that until the generation of the prophet Jeremiah, the people of Israel didn't have understood what was all about. Like the offerings that were for the tabernacle, the Eternal needed to be with them. They didn't understand that that was not the objective of everything. The objective was, or the people of Israel in their trying to do the things good, they couldn't. And at the moment that they made a sin or something bad, they could have an option to fix what they did. So that way they can correct themselves, so that way the divine presence can still be with them. But the objective was not the temple. The one that doesn't understand this is still thinking in a third temple. As in the Judaism, the observance is missing a piece that is the temple, because without the temple they cannot expire somehow their breath works. They think that it's like necessary to have a temple to complete all the commandments. And actually, yes, it is important to fix somehow the issue that we do, but it's not exactly that. The objective, or the truly objective, was to help the people to get a spiritual goal. The problem of the people of Israel, as we have learned, is that when we get like our media or the tool that we have, like the final thing that we need, and that's not like that. There were some things that couldn't be done just in the temple, and they forgot it. Exactly as the snake of bronze, it was supposed to help them to get life, but they started to make of that snake a god, and that was not the objective, as I was saying before. Until now, if you see a person that in their cosmovision, religious, they cannot think, or they cannot accept that there is not going to be a third temple, they haven't understand what is this about. So you're going to see all the people that is furious of the temple. And all of them are there. The physical thing, the material thing, that's what they are being attracted by. So let's do it this and this. And that was just an accessory. It was just something that the Eternal gave as a plan B by the request of the Moshe did. So if someone still believes that there is going to be a third temple, sorry, but you haven't understood anything yet. And you're still lost. And your heart is going through a different way. And the question here is, if the objective is totally spiritual, why there is a lot of material and a lot of details to talk about how they needed to do this? Their rap started to talk about this, and they got to the conclusion that actually the Eternal didn't need this, but the one that needed this was the man. So that way, that all the facts needed to be done with like a specific. So that way, through the infinitive things, they could get the infinitive things. So they have like a big temple, so physics, so material, so attractive to the eyes that we got lost. Last time we did the counting of the gold, silver, and copper, and there were 1,491 kilograms. They were 5,130 of kilograms of silver and 3,610 kilograms. We're talking about in total 22,555 pounds. So can you imagine that all of our eyes can see all that gold, all that silver, and we still like do not forget that it was just something about a spiritual thing. I remember that in that year that we saw that Parasha, the, the weight of the metal that they were charging on their shoulders, it was exactly or equal to an elephant. And that's what they're charging all the time through the desert. So that way they can get a spiritual objective. So here we have in the Talmud, Joma 72:3. It says, "This is the Torah that Moshe presented to the children of Israel. If man through his study and practice managed to refine himself, it will be for him an elixir of life. Otherwise, it will be a death drug." Talmud, Joma 72:2 UN. So all this study of the Torah doesn't help me to, if this do not help me to get the objective, it's just gonna take me to like a death drug, making me believe something or someone that I am not. So let's check out a little bit of history. In the year 2489 of the Hebrew calendar, the tabernacle is set in Gilgal, where in the conquest that was done there. It was there for 30 years. In the year 2502, it was taken to Shiloh. This is 22 years after arriving at the Promised Land, where he remained 371 years. In the year 2873, he was taken to the Nob, where he remained 11 years. In 2884, he was taken to Gilbon, where he remained for 51 years. In the year 2935, the construction of the first temple is finished, and then is where this is taken to. The interesting thing here is that in the last years where the Mishkan were built up, before it was actually moved to different places by the Ishmael king, by my mathematics, it was actually working without the Ark of the Covenant in that place, in the Kadoshim place. We do the question, like, why? But remember, the ark was taken by the Philistine people, and it was almost like 70 years to take this ark to go back again to the Kadoshim place. But it was until it was taken to the Ishmael temple. When they recovered, when they get again the ark, it was not taken to the tabernacle. It was taken to the yard of his house, what we known as David Tabernacle. What is that? It's something like this. It was just wood with some curtains, and inside of that it was the Ark of the Covenant. Inside of that, the two rocks with the commandments. And he said, like, hey, come on, Levi, come here. We're gonna present the offerings. The Torah says that we could do this in the temple of the king. No, like all the offerings and all that. Come on, please be happy. Please take all the instruments and please start to sing to the Eternal in that tabernacle. But in the tabernacle, it was not the Ark of the Covenant. So all those years where the Shekinah of it descend or it go went down, where exactly it went to in Yom Kippur? Because in Yom Kippur, remember that it was supposed to get like this a special thing that was needed to be burned, so that way we cannot watch anything or see out anything. So because remember, if any high priest sees something, it will die. He will die. So he even went inside without any ark. My question is, did the Shekinah went down go down or not? Or it was in the yard of this king? And the interesting thing is that it says that the Eternal promised to go back this David's tabernacle. So why are we still like focused on that specific place, like the menorah, the golden, the silver, when actually the Eternal is telling us that what he liked was David, because David understood what everything was about. He understood what was the important thing. It was to obey, and and actually inside this ark, what was inside of that was just the 10 words, and the little tent, as we say here, it was just covering the ark of the commandment, and that's what the Eternal liked. Not everything what the high priests were doing. No, that was not what he liked. So why are we still focused on that? Why we study a lot of like getting a master or get diplomas that can say that we know something? If you don't understand what is this about, we're still dreaming with the temple. And then there is like the little piece of paper in the wall that is not even of the temple, because another king built that up in the second century. So the David king, has a heart based on the Lord, and that's why the prophet Jeremiah says to the people of Israel before they were conquered, in the he says that I have never talked about any sacrifices, but if you're reading all the book of Baikra, and it talks about sacrifices, so they didn't understand that it was not necessary, or it was actually necessary by the poor level that they have, the spiritually talking, because if not, the divine presence will kill them. So they needed like a way to be together. So it was a plan B. And the question is, what about us? Do we know what is this all about? For example, here in the community, we reproduce something of the Mishkan. We have a Torah, we have an Aaron Kodesh, and it doesn't have anything goes with Aaron, the brother of Moshe. It actually means furniture. So we have rules respecting this place, how you're gonna behave. So all this somehow has the objective or the goal to form something, to educate us in something. The one that knows the rules, he doesn't go exactly with that. So what are we expecting? It doesn't have like the availability to get something in the heart that is not stipulated already. It's like if the high priest go inside the ark of the commandments or in the tabernacle, like, oh, I'm just gonna be like this, I'm not gonna get all my clothes or something like that, because the Eternal what he wants is the heart. It's not like that. So that's why the Eternal gave these specific details. how this high priest needed to be clothed, how he needed to get, to clean their food, the hands, because if not, he will be killed. And somehow he's understanding that we need to dominate the infinitive world first, so that way we can get access to the infinitive world. But if I get to the conclusion that what the eternal wants is the heart, and that or this idea makes me do not respecting the rules, the restrictions, the spaces, then it means that I haven't understood yet. Because what happened to the King David, like he had a heart according to the heart of Yahweh, because he was able to even get the ark to his home, because the eternal because remember that part when the ark was going to fall down and someone totally strange to that, he touched it, he died, because the heart is still a rule or a specific thing that we need to. What about, like, I mean, we need the heart, but we also need the details. Like if you go to your wife, I wanted to bring you some flowers, but I said maybe I will buy another thing, but you know that what matters is the heart. So what are you gonna tell to your mom, to your mother, to your wives? Sorry, you're not gonna say that because you need it. I mean, what matters if you tell me I wanted to bring you some flowers, but I didn't. So it doesn't work then. It's exactly the same with this. The question here will say, like, we as Ephraim, do we know what is all this about? Do we know what was the goal of the sacrifice of Mashiach? Do we know why do we have family? Why do we get married? To suffer? To cry? No. Why do we have children? To teach them to obey? We forget what is all this about. A person works a lot because he needs to provide everything to his family, but at the end the house is empty because his family needed more husband and dad than someone that provides, all the material things. So we get lost, and that's why in a lot of classes before we have talked about the education to the children, because we get confused, because we believe we think that everything needs to them to obey me, that if my kid obey me, he's like an example of kid. But we forget that we get every child loving, making love with our wife, and the fruit of that love is going to be a place. Do you remember the laws of the fully vessel? So that's what all this about. We got the vessel. The vessel and the light were one. If I love my wife, I make the love with her. I get a child that is a vessel, and I need to fulfill it with the same love that I made it. And there is still a light that is there that keeps the vessel. And this love I have to give them to my daughter. And that's why they recognize the light that I will give to her has to go with them, or it has some relation. That's why they receive the instructions, the advice, the love. Those are the laws of the fulfilled vessel. We are spiritual. We're spiritual, living a physical experience, and our labor is as well spiritual. So we don't come here to make money. We don't come here to have children so that way they can help us when we're old. We don't have children so that way they can serve us the lunch, the dinner, or to wash the dishes, or to make them my bed. That was not the reason. If not, just say to them, I made you in a necessity, a moment of need, what I will do when I am 70 years, I will do a kid, so that way he can work for me, and then he can help me when I'm old. So say that to your children. Tell him if that it's all the goal. Like if you're looking for someone to obey you, just get better and serve, so that way you can pay them. You don't have to pay for college. You don't have to give them food. He gets like a shift from 8 to 6 p.m. With overtime he could get 8. So that would be amazing if that's the specific or the main reason. Or maybe when you're old, I don't want to be alone, so get just a toy or a puppy. There is people that speak or talk to a pet, but please do not bring here children just to them to be with you, so that way you don't feel alone. But we get lost in our way. We bring children to transmit them our fears or traumas, or to reproduce the U.S. love in a voluntary way. That's what all this is about, what the life is about. Please, when you come here in the community, please respect the rules, the specifications, the details. But please do not ever think that touching the Torah you will be cured or somehow. Please do not get to that extreme. Or if you come here to pray, that you will be listen better here instead of the room of your home. Come on, do not think that too. The exercise of expressing respect in honor to the Eternal and everything that belongs to Him within a limited physical space like this community, it seems that it allows us to cultivate something of the divine within our heart. Since what has a specification or a detail to what doesn't. But first we need to control those specifications and those things. Do it with conscience. And this is something that surprised me a lot. He says, or he made this triangle of Occident, of Europe, Russia. The way we eat changes depending on the geographic place. Like this man, if this man that it's from this place, for example, Guatemala, goes to Malaysia or something like that, he will be a diet because there are no fruits there. It's just an example. And this triangle of China, the most important thing is the conscience. That what what you're eating. Focus in the food before think if it has vitamins or calcium. You have to be conscious of what it has, of the food first. That's the most important thing. Forward, there is another step, and in the third place, the vitamins or samples, all that starts. But first, remember the conscience. What are you looking for? Why do you look the eternal? Why do you pray? Why are you gonna pray? Is that because you want to get a test? He knows all your necessities before you actually know them. So why are you gonna pray if he knows already what you need? Is to get connected with eternal. So are you disconnected? Why are you disconnected? Why are you gonna pray? Conscience. It doesn't matter what you do first, but do it with consciousness. Now, the message that the design of this Mishkan gives us is that it's necessary a work as specific, detailed, so he can live in us. That's why our observance of Shabbat needs to be orthodox. Can I cut a lemon or not in Shabbat? Can I write in a piece of paper in blank? Can I make a note in Shabbat? No. Do you think that the Eternal doesn't check that out? Can I light up the candle of Shabbat if it's already night? Do you think the Eternal watch out that or not? After I saw the Mishkan, like all the measurements, all those details, all the details of the man around, the apples, all those things, the details. If I would be a man, it would say that he's a melancholic man, perfectionist. Because the melancholic doesn't sleep if all the things are not in their place. So imagine all of this. Um, like all the bells of the high priest. When I see all those details, I see, does the Eternal see the details or he watches just the heart? But the heart needs to follow the measurements, the details. If you see the same, the priest himself, he has a specific way to be dressed, and you say like, wow. And you cannot be like, if I'm watching like this, and all the bells are starting to think like link, 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 then I have to look at him that he is making noise whenever he's going through. Why are those clothes like so powerful, so detailed, the material, the color, the each part of that? This needs to be like this. Why? Why is this all necessary? And there is a big difference. And we saw that in a different Parasha as well. We make clothes to get dressed, to cover ourselves. But now the vanity people, to show. When someone design a clothes, he designed it to cover himself. Because if the idea is to show, it's like just do not get any, just don't get dressed. That's it. And this covered, we're looking for to like to the people. Because sometimes I don't use what I like. Now, but the Eternal, he doesn't he doesn't make clothes for us. It's actually to reveal, to show up what is inside us. That is totally different. That's why the high priest is so different. Kohen means like being in the middle, like what is shown and what is hidden. His function is to show what is hidden. When I see the majesty of these clothes, it's something that a high priest wants to manifestate and show up. It is not that he wants to pretend. So then the clothes, by the point of view of the Eternal, it manifests something that is hidden. To the man, it covered. Look to Adam. When he noticed that he was naked, he takes some, parts of the tree, and he started to cover. He took some leaves to cover himself. He just took the leaves because the goal was to cover himself. And what the Eternal did, he made him a different skins. Where do you think the Eternal took away those skins? From a sacrifice. An animal needed to die. So when we see the opportunity to rectify and take us away from the garden, it was a sacrifice. And that sacrifice is hidden, but it was revelated or it was shown up or manifested through the skins. So when he went out from this place, he was actually revealing a sacrifice that was done hidden. It's exactly the same with the clothes. It manifested a majesty that was hidden by the sin of the people. But in the Mount Sinai, before the sin, they were revelated. So that so deep that they were afraid to be killed. The question that I want to start to the reflection is if the Eternal sends his angel, does he have a special angel? Like, please, angel, you have received order to get dressed with to all the competitive tour, not just from Guatemala, also from Colombia, Costa Rica, and all that. So he started with his tools, like the pencil, or maybe they don't have any paper to write the details. But what kind of clothes will this angel do it for you? He's going to manifestate what is inside of you. I know that. It is something that is fashion. It is a process that is going to be by steps, by layers, like a gray or white to go to black, or he is like he's not pure, but he's still in the process. So how do you think this angel will make us the clothes to manifestate what is in our hearts, inside us, black and white, not Hasidic, or just white, or just black? Oh, so let's think about what do we have inside us, because that will depend on if we have understood or not. And now we got to the text in Shema 29:43 to 47. And there else will testify of me. Here the word it's of like to set up something. I will testify of me unto the children of Israel, and shall be sanctified. Kadash means to be clean. And this cleanness will make us to be different to the rest. That's why the term Kadosh means up different, up like separated. And then I will testify of me unto the children of Israel, and shall be sanctified with my glory. Kavod means weight. So he will sanctify the high priest and the temple with his glory. Moshe did everything he was asked for. The material, the sacrifices, the details. But at the end, it was necessary a different thing. So that way it can be sanctified and it will the divine presence. That will make the place sanctified. As we have talked of the promised land, the Torah says that it was sanctified. But if you go there and you will check that out, will the Holy of the Eternal will be shown up on you? Temples and temples of places, like, remember, they have gay cities. So that is not a holy city. It's like if the Shabbat it's holy for you and me. If we keep the Shabbat, it is holy for you and me. But there is a labor that we need to do so that that holy thing can go down and stay with us. It's the divine presence what sanctifies, and then I will testify unto the children of Israel, and I shall be sanctified with my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the testimony and the altar. And I will also sanctify Aaron and his sons, so they may be my priests. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and I will be their Elohim. And interesting here that the word is Elohim, the part of justice. And they shall know that I am Yahweh their God, that I brought you them outside the land of Egypt to dwell in their midst. I, Yahweh their God. And remember, you reap as Moshe, the Eternal was revelated in Mount Sinai. But for us, it was just the will. So we need to take this into the practice. Moshe took all this to the practice. Since he did it exactly as he was told, what happened then? Later, the divine presence, it was down, or it went down, and it cleaned up all the place, and he sanctified it with his glory. The question that I do for you is, nowadays, the Torah was manifested to us as like Moshe, but in the Mount Sinai. We know the holy festivities. We have everything. We believe that we're doing it. The question is, did the Ruach HaKodesh go down already? And is that living with us right now? Because that's what is at the end in the process is what determines if something is holy or not. When the holy Ruach HaKodesh stays there and clean up the place, I can believe that I have already obeyed. And by faith, as we have taught before, that I know that the eternal is in me. By faith, I know that. And continue with that. Continue. I believe it. I believe that God is with me. I listened to His voice. I heard His voice. Continue. Doing it again. And if it hurts, continue. Get closer to that idea. But at the end, like He knocked the door, and the one that opens that, I'll give you breath, and we're gonna eat together, and we feel that it's a big party there. So that way it could be like a place where we eat. But is that real or not? That is the question. Do the divine presence is living with us or not? What will be the characteristics of a person that has this holy thing in their hearts? First of all, sanctifying. It's to clean. I don't have to have bad thoughts, negative thoughts. Why? Because everything is good. Because here everything is clean. What I see around me, I see everything clear. Another characteristic would be maybe like how do we find a notice with people that stays with the comments of the Eternal or not? Or let's see how they educate their children. Is there a difference there? Or the children of the holy versus the son of blue demon? Are they gonna be the same or different? Are they going to be like obligated to obey because they are being punished to obey? They need to force them. And what about the children of El Santo. They also do that too. Or do they have a father that stays with us and they look to their eyes like, hey, how are you? How are you doing with your friends? And when the son of the Santo says, oh, today I want to go to bed until 9 p.m. What will be done by the blue demon sun? How this can be possible? Here at the 7, we're gonna get up. Okay, I will accept it. So if he's being punished, of course he has to do it. He's not gonna say, like, okay, just hit me. No, right? He has to obey because what other option does he have? Here I have to do everything as I said. No, right? With that voice, oh my goodness, I need to be prepared for everything. But the son of the Santo says, are you tired? Yes, because I was studying all night. Okay, don't worry. Just rest. When you wake up, just make your bed. If not, just stay there. At the end, the one that accepts your dirty places is you. And that's how you learn. And that's it. Do you know what I told her when she was in 3rd grade? I told her, well, my love, the one that can last the year will be you. They will be Your friends will be in other grade, but you will be staying in the same one. So far, I don't know if she's in exams or what. I don't have problems of anything because she's the one responsible of her facts. No, the word is not gonna end because of that. It's not also a shame for me to because my daughter has a 60 and yours has one with 80s. I mean, that's not the end of the world. But it has to be a difference. How do we treat our wives, our husband, to our children, to our parents? Because if not, we are coming to the Mount Sinai, following the instructions. Like, it's too hard to do these things like the menorah. Something a little bit simple. Remember, because the spirituality is simple. I will do it like this. What matters is the heart. The things that are not completed, then the Ruach HaKodesh is not going down and live with us. So then we got a tabernacle, as the people of Israel had a lot of times, a lot of years, but it was beautiful with a lot of sacrifices, but it didn't have anything inside. It didn't have the ark. It was just a tabernacle, but it was empty. I don't know, but I imagine like an angel sending the Ruach HaKodesh, sending the Shekinah in Yom Kippur. And he was like, where am I supposed to send all this? To the yard of the David, to the King David, or to your tabernacle? Because you said he was going to go down to the Hakadoshim place. But he's not here, so what is what really matters? When I see my wife, what do I see? A woman, a daughter, a little girl that I have to deal with, or to the half of my heart, like a soul that needs to be connected with the Creator, knowing that my function, like paternal, can cultivate that relation with the eternal, but it can also be like a obstacle. Am I responsible with my paternal function? Like I said before, in the other studies, it is not about measurements, receipts, details. When you are really transformed or changed by the Spirit, you cannot give more than love. As I was asked before, Rabbi, I know that I need to be justice with another person of the people of Israel. But what with a person that is not here from these people of Israel? Am I supposed to still acting with justice? My answer was, justice is my nature. I can be I can be different. Even with the dogs, with the animals. Sometimes we need to kick them somehow when they don't obey. But it's not about with who. It's something that is our nature. When you understand that your wife and your children are humans that have a soul, that have feelings and objectives in this world, and that you are responsible if they get it or not, then you're going to um, give them all the love that the Eternal has given to you. We need to eat all together or not. Does the son allowed to eat in their room or not? But when you love someone, like my wife, sometimes I tell to her like, I want to get my breakfast today here at the bed, and she takes my breakfast to the bed. We don't say like, oh no, because you have to go to the specific table to get the breakfast. No, right? Because we love each other, and I do it too. I'm able to stop doing what I like, what I want, because, or for what she wants. So that's what we need. It's love. So all the problems that we have with traumas, with decisions, every action, it has a lack of love. When you have that angry person like yelling all the time, oh my goodness, poor boy, poor girl, because she was not loved as a child. They want an ice cream, they don't know what does it mean. Everything is a resume to the lack of love. So how our children are going to be as parents? They need love, but also the love needs to be definite. And we don't mean that love means to do not look out to the mistakes. No, right? They know the limits. My daughters, they know the limits, and I love them. Like they can do or they cannot do. I'm not worried about the order in their room because we're in peace. We laugh every day. We take our hands. I'll make jokes. I mean, but that is life. That's what life is. Or did you forget why did you ask them, I mean, your wives, to be married with you? And I don't forget why I wanted to be married with her. And I know why I offered her as well. That's what happened. We'll get lost in our way. And I would like to all of you to think and take the hand of your wife and think, why did I ask her to be my wife? Like Abby, she was taken from Bogota, Colombia. It was difficult for me to go where my wife lives. I mean, she used to live. But now, what about Bogota? I mean, we need to say like, wow, why do I give her to come here? So it's to think, like this woman left everything because of me, and what am I giving it to her now? So that way, all of you, depending on the situation, if we have a couple, please think. Do you remember that you couldn't sleep without her? Like you just wake up and you say like, "Hey, hello." I mean, it's because we couldn't be far away anymore. like like this, hugging. How many of you do you hug each other in front of people, in front of your children, or when you're alone? So you forget to do it. With everything we have seen, like living or asking for the third temple, is like, come on, that happened already. Just read the Hebrew letter, what it says. Please stop that basic doctrine of what to do. Just come on, grow up in the Mashiach and be happy with that. Imagine you treating wrong your wife. Like, if you do not respect your wife, it's like, come on, did you forget that already? That you said yes, I do when you were asked to be married. The passage, Abby, it was closed. There is no way to be returned. So we need to live to happy. And when we see our children, we think like, why do I brought you here? Have you ever heard about the project intention? The person that made this, can you tell me, can I knock this, like, to give it a figure? Can I take a picture with it? No, right? Can I jump in it and go to a different place? All right. Can I do this? Can I get it like a ring? No, I can't. Why I cannot give it another use than that the manufacturer did it? Because the manufacturer had an intention in their heart. He had in his intention to make a vessel, like to be like an accessory, because to carry water, it doesn't work. So it will be another thing, like an accessory, something to see, just like that. You will be an accessory, and you can work out for anything else, no more than an accessory. That's what is called project intention. Before this existed, there was an intention in the heart to create, and that intention limits or potentialize the thing, the object. Now, I ask you, what is the intention we educate our children? Because based on some people that they study, they think that they do, it's that the intention of the heart. When I bring out the children, limitate or potentialize that kid. So there could be a lot of souls limited because of the intention that it was made. And that's why we say, like, do not make children being angry or something like that, because that intention is in the soul that is coming there. So check that out. That's why all these kind of things affect to the soul. When you're angry and you talk to your parent, that affects the soul, because we're spiritual beings. When we feel like alone, or do not that we don't matter, all that soul is receiving that energy, everything. And when it exploded in your face, you said, "I come on, how you can be so disgrateful or that like that." All the butterfly effect, everything we do has to be done, has to be paid for. So imagine of the intention of the project. So that way you can, be conscious that we are spiritual beings. We are absorbing feelings, energy, emotions, and all this affects the soul. unless we get unless we get an education that help us to with this. Remember, when we teach Torah, what do we want to teach? To obey the eternal or to love the eternal? When we treat to our children, do we want them to obey us or to them to love us? When I treat my wife, do I want her to love me or to obey me? I don't know if I can cultivate more love on her. I have 25 years to be changing the system, and I don't know if I can do it or to give more love. Because you know what? That's what the Torah is about, of love. Not of obey or to submission. No, it actually is of love to give. And the children are the mirror of that. Do not blame your children. As someone was telling me before, Rabbi, are you gonna talk to your children? I do. Every 15 days I talk to them. And I don't tell them what I do, because if not, you're gonna be against to me. But but I'm empathetic, and I go to their shoes, and I understand them. So I talk to them clear, and my wife to the latest. I talk to them clear with everything that I have lived, or I can tell you what is in the streets. I mean, I know that already. So I talk to them like that. I don't have like a mascara. And I even talk to them about the parents. Respect. I mean, I am telling them everything. But I'm not going to tell it to you, because if not, it doesn't work then. It wouldn't work anymore. So, my friends, it's time to think, if we're Ephraim, why did the Eternal wake ups? What was the goal? If the process is done already through his presence, the Ruach HaKodesh, if it's living with us, to clean us, to change us, so that way everything will be turned up in good works, in good facts. There is a lot of people that is doing their conversion, and we directly or indirectly way, we're helping them to go to the eternal. And there is a rabbi that talked about the bells of the high priest, and he was given a teach of our lessons. You don't know how positively or negatively you can influence into the people. But in everything that is around us, and we are making that people wants to come here, and they do their tevila, and they do the confession, they confess themselves of their sin, trusting in His Majesty Yeshua of the availability, and they quit from all what they thought that was good, because they are following us as well. So can you see the responsibility of this or not? Or don't you think it's a responsibility? And then there is a lot of people that they cut their they make the circumcision because they want to be in the place we are. Now, do we really are people that inspire these people? Are we able, like, tell you to you, like, Amiel, I want to have that relationship that you have with the Eternal. What do I need to be like you? And you have to tell, because I want to go to the level that you are. But we need to be, sanctified. And you know what's the problem? That a lot of you don't believe that. You don't accept that you're holy. And sometimes you want to pretend that, behaving yourself like if you're not holy. because you don't accept what the Eternal has done with you. But please, made you a suit that can manifestate what is inside of you. That's my homework for you. In a paper, the people that is like to design, please don't say like, don't take this because it's just to read the Torah. No, you're going to make a draw. You're going to make a shirt, rehum, right? Eli. You're going to make a. You're going to make your. What color are you gonna choose? Tie. What kind of tie are you gonna do? Which colors? The details of an Ephraim. I mean, from the tribe of Ephraim. That will be my homework for you. Design this suit that you should wear to show and reveal what you really are. I will make it to you easier. It's really hard somehow because you will be like, it may sound like narcissism, like to your wife to design the suit that your husband should wear to show what is in your inside. What do you think? And then you're gonna go do the dress for your wives. As my wife said, if it's an angry one, how are you gonna do it? Suit color black with the spirits like this, a little bit white. Let's do it, and I'm being serious. Let's do the exercise and over everything. Like, do not do it in hand. It's like look at your eyes to all your child, and remember that time, and try to rectify all the intention of the project that couldn't be done already. So it happened to me, and I don't know if this happened to you, but I would like to have again 23 or 18 years old, but with the conscience that I have now. When we made a kid like 23 years ago, it's not the same that I will do it now. It's just not the same. But me, the one of today, I could fix what is in the soul of that kid that is not pretty good because of the time when I did it. When I manufactured, let's say that way, the kid. If I look at the eyes, I can change the intention of the project, of that soul, giving it what I have now, what I am now, a different thing. When I was like 25 years ago, but I want that children to be that child to be related with me. So there is like a connection that we need to do, so that way it can be changed. If it's less than 20 years, 20 years, I can still go over my paternal function. If it's a woman now, but if it's a man, it will be so different. Unless you have it like fell in love. No, based on fear, but with respect. And if he admires me, I can put the words that can change the intention of the project. There is anything that cannot be repaired or fixed.
Que vivimos sin ti, sin tus pactos, sin tus promesas, sin tu amor, alejados de ti. Hoy tú has transformado nuestra oscuridad en luz, nuestro lamento en baile. Y así podamos seguir creciendo en esa liberación, en esa salvación que tú nos has dado a través de tu Hijo amado. Toda una vida de cometer errores, toda una vida de no saber ni para qué existíamos. Danos la oportunidad, Señor, la inteligencia y la sabiduría para corregir y restaurar el daño que hemos cometido, Padre. Padre Celestial, ayúdanos a llevar con dignidad una ropa sacerdotal. Santifícanos, pero no con tus mandamientos, con tu presencia, con tu honor, con tu gloria en nuestro corazón, oh bendito Señor. Gracias, oh bendito Padre. Amén. Vamos a guardar la Torah.
En aquel día en Jerusalén celebraremos todo Israel, que todo el mundo escuche nuestra voz, no estamos muertos y cantamos. Efraín, 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 Efraín. Estamos listos para recibir al rey, la tribu de Judá y la tribu de Efraín, un solo pueblo, un solo Elohim, el mundo entero al fin despertará.
Necesito que me apoyen a Kevin. Kevin quiere ir mañana a Purín. Necesito que alguien me le apoye para llevarlo. ¿Va, Kevin? El de la bufanda es Kevin. Shabbat shalom a todos. Quiero invitarle a recibir al rey.